I'm Fletch Brown, another artist video blog here at KIX96Country.com. Our guest today, Hannah Michelle Weeks, with her new single, and More Than One Kind of Love. Hannah, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome to KIX Country.
Thank you.
So now you come to us all the way from Seattle, Washington.
Yes, I do.
The Pacific Northwest.
Yes.
You didn't bring Bigfoot with you.
No, I did not.
Thank goodness. Because we've got enough weird stuff in the woods in Alabama.
But how cool would it have been if I would have caught him?
Absolutely. Now you could have secured your place in history with that. And then you would have come to Nashville playing country music, and everybody would have been like, that's the girl who caught Bigfoot and sings great country music. So, but you just moved to Nashville, like just in the last few days.
I did, just 2 days ago I moved.
Well, what, now you've been playing though since you were a little girl, like
yes.
since the age of like 13 at least.
Yes.
You know?
I've been playing shows out. I got my first band when I was about 13 years old, so I've had a band ever since.
How does that even work? I mean, like, were they other 13-year-olds?
No, they weren't. They were actually older, seasoned players that have been playing for a while, and just wanted to perform a lot, so they jumped on board and loved the music, and we just went for it.
Well, that's pretty impressive, you know, to be a band leader already at the age of 13, and you haven't even come to Nashville yet.
Right.
All right. So all that time that you spent, you know, between then and now, and you just made the decision to move to Nashville. Tell us about those early years growing up in Seattle and learning to play music and where it took you.
Awesome. Well, ever since I could walk and talk, I love to sing. It was just something I feel like I was completely born with. I didn't have another choice. Mm-hmm. Music was always the thing. When I was about 5 and entered into kindergarten, I had a music teacher who asked my parents if she could take me once a week after school and start giving me voice lessons. And my parents aren't into music. My dad was in a band in high school. My mom writes computer applications, and my dad's a civil engineer. So they didn't really ever notice that I had the capability of singing until my music teacher at a young age brought it to their attention that I did have musical ability. So my music teacher when I was 5 really cultivated music and structure about singing, you know, and the proper way to sing using your diaphragm and teach me music theory. So I really got started at a young age, and my first time on stage I was about 6, and I sang God Bless America, which was actually God Bless America when I was little. I sang it at a political function, and from then on, I just fell in love with being in front of the audience and making people smile with my music. So your music teacher has the "that girl can sing" conversation with your mom and dad, yes. And they decide, at least, you know, you said that they themselves aren't necessarily musically inclined, but they're at least very, very supportive of your choice. Yes. But I do understand that your family actually does have a musical history that they do. Doesn't belong to your parents. Tell us about that. Right. Way back on my dad's side, there was sisters called the KIX Sisters. Mm-hmm. And that was way back in the day, and they did a lot of jive kind of stuff, and it was really cool being able to see that history. Unfortunately, they all passed away before I was able to meet any of them, but it's really cool that way back down the line that there is history of music. So, so your parents supported you into your new role as a band leader and becoming a musician. Yes. Are you writing your own music too? I am, yes. I started writing when I was about 7 years old. I wrote my very first full song, so that was cool. So kind of one of the reasons people always say, okay, so you're from Seattle, how did you get into country music? Because you know that's alternative, and it's where Nirvana came from, and you know you never know. But I'm from a small town about an hour north of Seattle called Stanwood, and it's like kind of the farm town thing. And one of the reasons why I fell in love with country is because of the lyrics. And as a country artist, and we have a platform where our fans listen to our words from our music. So that's when I really fell in love with country and fell in love with the song. So you're not bringing grunge country from Seattle. No, It's not going to be one of those. Right. You know, Smells Like Teen Spirit in the Barn on the tractor. It won't be your first single. Right. All right. So now, tell us about the decision actually to move then to Nashville. What prompted the decision to finally make that move? Well, I've been traveling back and forth for the past 5 years. Back and forth from Seattle to Nashville, traveling around, and really it was just time to, I was here so much anyway, to just make the move. So I'm just around more and cut down the traveling time a little bit. Okay. So since you've been in Nashville though,
Obviously, only a few days, but since you've been commuting, you're working on this album. Is this album completed, or are you still putting it together?
Yes, this album is completed. So my new album's out on August 6th.
Okay.
So I'm really excited about it.
Tell us about that process. Who's been producing with you and writing with you and working with you?
Absolutely. I was working with Tim Johnson, and he actually passed away last fall from colon cancer, which was a really hard hit for me. I have been working with him for the past 5 years. And we were just about to put our first actual full-length album together. We only got 6 tracks completed before he passed. So we decided to not finish the actual full album and just stick with these 6 and release another EP because this was our last work together. But I had some awesome players on the session. Danny Rader, who plays with Keith Urban, and Near Z, who's played with so many people. We had awesome musicians, and it was a really emotional and great process, and I'm really proud of the new tracks.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the single then. More Than One Kind of Love. Is that one that you penned?
No, Tim Johnson wrote that one.
Okay. So you've released this as your first single.
Yes.
Is that like in honor of Tim? What about this song made you say, this has to be my first one?
This song was a song, I have never sung a song like it before. Because it was just different from my vocal. It's kind of, talking and it's kind of singing at the same time. And I think that it just really sets it apart from other music that's out there right now. And it really sets it apart from even the stuff that I was doing. It's kind of my new self with this new batch of music. And I think the lyric and the concept of the song can apply to so many people. Because
more than one kind of love.
There's more than one kind of love in this world.
All right. So, and that's just, the song is fairly self-explanatory, the title of the song.
More than one kind of love.
All right. Well, you look for Hannah Michelle Weeks, you look for her live performance of her single later or otherwise here on this website. And as far as folks who want to get in touch with your music and download your music and find out more about you, how do they find you on the web?
You can find me on Facebook, on my Facebook page, and search Hannah Michelle Weeks and like my page. And you can also find me on my music on iTunes and then hannahmichelleweeks.com, and also Twitter and Instagram.
All right. We've got the music here, so if you want to hear it, you make sure you call up KIX96 and we'll be happy to play it for you. And hopefully we can get you to come back down again soon. Okay?
Absolutely. I'd love that.
All right. Hannah Michelle Weeks is our guest today, and we'll see you next time on another artist video blog right here on KIX96country.com.